11. In the aftermath of a massive blaze that caused significant damage, rendering several renovated buildings to little more than rubble, what considerations must be made for those involved? Also, when cases of reported domestic violence rise, it is often wondered whether there have been more incidents or more coming forward to report them. The minister responsible for national security believes the latter. And a travel advisory issued for those wanting to visit the U.S. as a proactive measure. We have the latest. The Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Royson Jones, and this is the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Welcome to the broadcast. Just recently, food stores were the center of conversation due to a decrease in value-added tax. But as of yesterday, the fire that's run rampant at the Solomons and Costrite stores has sparked talk about the safety of those involved and even the next step for the buildings destroyed. Our Daniel Dean returned to the fiery scene where there is an assurance about job security.
For the long haul, a crew of 12 firefighters again working through the dead of the night to ensure multiple hotspots of Monday's raging fire in the generator room of Solomons Supercenter off East-West Highway are extinguished. And according to Chief Fire Officer Superintendent Damaris Armbrister, even then, smoke is likely to permeate the air for another few days. Structurally, he says the roofs of both Solomons and Costrite have caved in. On the same Tuesday morning, Chairman of the Consumer Protection Commission, Senator the Honorable Randy Roll, who said regrettably none of the products of both Solomons and Costrite are any good for consumers.
We're confident and comfortable that the providers will know this and, of course, not try to pass it on to consumer. There are some persons who come from all over the island just for this location, and so we're optimistic. We're happy to know that, they have a contingency plan. Based on the reports that I received, there were no jobs. There will be no jobs that will be affected. Just
down the road, officials at the Bahamas Agricultural and Industrial Corporation were on a walkabout of the Old Trail Road site, assessing damage. BAIC Chairman Senator the Honorable Darren Pickstock spoke to concerns that their products might have been impacted as well.
We are operating as usual. The produce exchange is still open. People are still shopping. We did evacuate yesterday, all of our staff members, so all of them were sent home yesterday, and obviously they're back this morning because of the minor damage the facilities received.
Our news team reached out to AML's executive team, who assured that they will be releasing a statement. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Thanks, Danielle. While an official cause of the fire has yet to be announced by authorities, AML Foods Vice President of Marketing, Renee Bastian, confirming in a statement today details of the company's initial investigation into the blaze.
While the exact cause of the fire is still under investigation by the relevant authorities, we can confirm that the fire did not originate in the generator room at the Solomons Old Trail location, contrary to recent media reports. In fact, we confirm that as of this morning, the Solomons generator and electrical room, which were not affected by the fire, remain intact and operational. We do understand that immediately before the fire, construction work was being carried out at the rear of the Department of Labor building in the vicinity of a fuel tank. We can also confirm that this construction work was in no way affiliated with Solomons or Costrite.
The AML executive also noted that while the damage to Solomons and Costrite is significant, the company is incredibly thankful to report that all staff and customers were safely evacuated before the fire spread. AML Foods commends and acknowledges the quick action and leadership of store teams and their company's emergency protocols. She also outlined the company's future plans.
While we are certainly devastated by the loss of our stores, our commitment to our employees and the community is as strong as ever. We have activated our business continuity plans, and our team members are being temporarily relocated to work at our nearby store locations to ensure job security and, of course, minimize disruption to their lives. We are already actively exploring the next steps, including plans to rebuild, and we will keep the community informed as these efforts move forward. Our assets are fully insured, and we have begun discussions with our partners, and we are confident that we will fully recover from this.
Well, yesterday's blaze engulfed a considerable portion of a normally busy commercial district, and today our news team spoke with one business owner who luckily managed to escape the burn from this massive fire. Corvell Pyfrom has that story at 11.
The impact of this fire on surrounding businesses is still being assessed. Easy Car Sales, which is a few structures west of the blaze site, were forced to shut its doors early yesterday, but fortunately today, operators say it was back to business as usual. Tuesday morning, while Easy Car Sales' Pia Farmer counted her blessings that her nearby business wasn't swept up in yesterday's fire fury, her neighbors were still top of mind.
We're very sorry for our neighbors. We will reconstruct and help them re-beautify and bring that area back.
Farmer says as Monday's blaze grew rapidly and quickly spread, so did their concerns, forcing them to make immediate decisions to save both lives and inventory.
Of course, we were very nervous yesterday because the fire was spreading. So we moved all of our vehicles from that side of the lot. You know, we are in the corner of Abundant Life and the highway. So we moved our vehicles and we evacuated our staff because to avoid any danger to them.
Meanwhile, Tuesday, the construction team for the Hyacinth Stewart building, which was to be the home of government agencies, immigration, labor, and disaster risk management, was still trying to wrap their heads around how this all happened. Michael Clanaris, the construction firm CEO.
We just saw around 10:30 in the morning a fire start by the between the generator and the generator tank of Solomon's of AOL. So we evacuated the whole building and we called the 919, 911. It's the same thing anyway. They came over here, but we couldn't stop it. They couldn't stop it. So at this point, we wait for the investigators to come and let us know what actually happened.
Assessment's not completed yet, but as far as he's concerned, this is near complete destruction.
The whole thing is damaged, is destroyed. Our site and AOL site also.
Corvell Pyfrom for the Bahamas Tonight.
Thanks, Corvell. In other news, it's been at least 4 months since the government sent a diplomatic note to the United States government asking for clarity in the arrest of a group of Bahamians, including senior law enforcement officials, all named in a federal indictment alleging a massive cocaine transshipment operation. Prime Minister Philip Davis responding to questions from reporters yesterday, hinting he believes those officers are currently entangled in a case of entrapment.
That whole operation is concerning to me. Of course, on the face of it, it appeared to be an entrapment of officers, and that is concerning. So I've not heard from them. So we are trying to we await the two officials, the police officer and the defense force officers, that made their appearances in court. I understand they're in discovery now, and we'll see what happens.
The indictment names Police Chief Superintendent Elvis Nathaniel Curtis, Sergeant Prince Albert Simonet, Defense Force Petty Officer Darren Roker, and others, including Theodore Nathaniel Adderley, a.k.a. Blue. The state-appointed attorney believes that prosecutors have named the wrong man, that after Ulrich John Baptiste was recently arrested in the Dominican Republic, his attorney asking New York Supreme Court Judge Woods of the Southern District to dismiss those charges. This case has a court date set of May 30th. Could there be a rise in reported cases of domestic violence? Well, the National Security Minister believes we may see just that as victims become more comfortable coming forward. Our Felicity Darville tells us more.
A bed and a place to rest for the night. For some, it may seem simple, but for a victim escaping domestic violence, it's a lifeline. National Security Minister Wayne Monroe says with the opening of this building, we may see a rise in reports of domestic violence.
I would say that centers like this, in the initial instance, may well result in an increase in certain categories of crime as people become more comfortable reporting crimes, knowing that they will be received and supported.
If you're a victim of domestic violence, call the Police Domestic Violence Unit at 322-HELP. That's 322-4357, so you can be assessed for immediate assistance at this 24-hour shelter. Assistant Commissioner of Police Janet McKinsey tells us what should happen next.
So what happens after that 24 hours is that social services kicks in. So this unit is for high-risk emergency cases where we want to get a victim out of a space and in a safe space immediately, and then social services will kick in with the other stuff that they do, ensuring that they have longer-term housing.
This mural was painted by a victim of domestic violence, and at the bottom, its foundation, the family. And that's the hope of those who will work here at the Domestic Violence Unit, that some happy endings will come out of it, and that some Bahamian families will be able to be reunited. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Davil.
Thank you so much, Felicity. Police trying to piece the clues of an overnight shooting incident that's left a 28-year-old man nursing wounds in stable condition in hospital. Preliminary reports reveal the victim was inside of a Pyfram Road establishment around 9 o'clock last night when a gunman wearing a mask entered and began discharging gunshots in his direction. Police say the victim was able to elude the gunman after being shot in the lower body. The culprit then exited the establishment and fled in an unknown direction. An investigation into the matter continues. Over in Abaco, a 62-year-old woman, the focus of an alleged suicide attempted in Hopetown yesterday afternoon. Police say the woman was found inside a home shortly after 12:30 p.m. and is reported to have allegedly ingested a large quantity of over-the-counter medication in an attempt to take her own life. After treatment at an Abaco clinic, the woman is now in New Providence for further medical evaluation. Her condition is not known at this time. Police are appealing to the public who may have any information on this or any other incidents to contact 919-911, the Criminal Investigations Department at 502-9991, 2 or 3, or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. Still to come, a leadership course for women only. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in just a moment.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Hi everyone, when heading to Florida to shop for your essentials, book your transportation with GoGoFlorida.com. The $100 cash deposit is back now on your debit card. Accepted at Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Palm Beach, and Orlando. Now there are lots of options to choose from, but I like the Tesla X, the electric vehicle, because I don't have to worry about gassing up. Or the Jeep Compass seating 5 with lots of space for your luggage or shopping bags. For the best deals, book now at GoGoFlorida.com, BahamasAir.com, and also available at Bahamas Air Sales Office.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
The government sounding alarm for Bahamians living in the United States and those planning to travel there. Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, confirms a travel advisory is being issued for those wanting to visit the U.S. as a proactive measure in response to increased scrutiny Bahamians may face during shifting immigration policies and travel concerns under the Trump administration. He assures the advisory, usually issued during the Christmas holiday, is not out of the ordinary, but there's the current temperature in the U.S.
What our Director General thought in the circumstances of the immigration pressure that's being put on inside the United States, and some reports which indicate that there may be certain prejudicial decisions being made, that there is a need to exercise even more caution in advancing across U.S. borders to make sure that the answers are correct to your stay, that you don't have anything which is contraband, make sure that your passports and all documentation is in order. And that's essentially what it says. So I wouldn't put anything sort of exceptional about it. But the fact is that there is this changed climate within the U.S., and I think this has to be acknowledged. And we have a duty to say to our citizens to exercise the appropriate caution.
Minister Mitchell also revealing that mounting immigration pressure has led to a noticeable increase in passport applications for Bahamians living overseas, particularly in places like Florida and New York.
Essentially, if you move to the States and you stay there, a lot of Bahamians went there and just never came back. And so the question of having a document like a passport never arose. And it appears now that this immigration pressure is being put. There's a necessity to get the passport. And so that's been happening. The chief passport officer acting tells me that they've not had any difficulty meeting the demand, so there isn't an issue on that side. But what I do say to people is that you have to be cautious and careful to make sure that you have all the documents in order.
More than a month after a SpaceX Starship rocket exploded mid-flight, leaving behind debris in local waters, questions linger, and officials are hoping to have them answered before moving full steam ahead into the lucrative space industry. Our Lloyd Allen tells us more tonight.
Space tourism, an industry pegged at around $14 billion by 2030, and the Bahamas is poised to receive a significant portion of that. Now, moving forward, officials say they're waiting on a post-launch report from SpaceX from the recent launch done right here in the Bahamas.
This exercise was considered to be successful. The DUPP, as indicated before, we're still awaiting the required post-launch report, but it is my understanding that we should receive that before the Easter.
While SpaceX has been prohibited from any other entries prior to the assessment of that report, the Department of Environmental Planning and Protection Director, Dr. Rihanna Neely, is confident all that can be done to mitigate environmental impact has been done, especially following the March 6 anomaly.
There was an anomaly that occurred in space concerning the Starship. And this was not an exercise that was meant for re-entry in the Bahamian territory. That evening, an emergency meeting was called among all government stakeholders to determine what would be the next steps.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, shared additional updates from debris recovered in local waters.
I note also that additional debris has been recovered in our territory, linked not only to SpaceX, but to 3 additional companies operating within the broader aerospace and commercial launch industry. We are continually investigating these findings.
While those companies were not named, SpaceX has committed to partnering with the Bahamas in protecting and educating.
Everything was picked up and that there was a way for folks to tell us if new things showed up.
Officials are also hopeful that in the future, Bahamians too will be a part of similar space expeditions going as far as Mars. Reporting from the Ministry of Tourism for the Bahamas tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Thank you, Lloyd. A group of eager young adults look to make the most of their shot at their careers of choice after completing their 14-week certifications with the National Training Agency. Our Daniel Dean has this report.
Graduates from a combination of National Training Agency cohorts paid a worthwhile visit to the Gladstone Road building again today for a chance to show off their skills. The Royal Caribbean Group was the single company at NTA's job fair this morning. According to senior recruiter for private destinations, Paul Moxie Jr., the fact they were the only company present didn't mean any less opportunities for graduates.
Island experience manager, operations manager, some leads like guest services. So we're looking to bring on as many qualified Bahamians as possible for both Coco Key as well as our Royal Beach Club Paradise Island that's opening up in December 2025.
Cohort 8 alum Ashley Forbes has been in similar working environments, including an Exuma hotel. But she says this opportunity comes with even better selling points.
It's the same thing as it's still in hospitality. It's just on the water rather than at the bay. Right? It's like more, I want to venture out rather than be in one spot.
I was looking for the exposure aspect, and going on a cruise ship type environment basically would help me in a sense, because I am multifaceted in the sense where I have seamanship experience.
Executive Director Bridget Ferguson, immensely proud of the group of young adults who are looking to make something of themselves.
We know that they are ready for the opportunities that abound at the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. So we're very thankful to our partner for providing this opportunity for our trainees. Just later this week, there'll be another opportunity, and we are at the table now in discussion with more partners, employers, employers who are looking for talent, because we know they have come through our hands, they are ready.
The resounding message when all is said and done, according to Ferguson, the National Training Agency is a second chance for high school graduates. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Thanks, Danielle. An 8-week course has been launched in the capital targeting women in need of leadership, designed to reignite the spirit of independence, confidence, and impact. Organized by the Bahamas chapter for Caribbean Women in Leadership, the course's launch was held at the Edmund Moxie Center, where spouse of the Prime Minister Anne-Marie Davis encouraged facilitators to think big.
As CIWIL retreats to their discussions to expand the objectives and the requirements towards gender equality and issues focusing on women in Parliament, I congratulate you, my dear, on intentionally moving towards this agenda.
CIWIL's chairperson Robin Lyons champions through this program a new avenue for female excellence comparable to the suffragette movement.
In order for us to understand where women are going or where we should be going, it needs to be anchored in where we've come from. I think the suffragette movement, it really cements, to me, and it acts and serves as a catalyst for women really entering into political spaces and leadership spaces. Prior to that, women were more ornamental. It is an immersive training program for women and girls aged 15 to 30 years old. Of course, we have a couple a little older than that, but it is really a response to what we call a cry for mentorship, for training for young women.
Amajal Knowles has a look at what's coming up in sports tonight. Amajal?
The Carifta track team getting in their final practice sessions just ahead of Trinidad. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass it along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Welcome to your Tuesday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. Bahamas' Carifta track and field team gearing up for Trinidad and getting in their final series of practice sessions over at the Old Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. Our Eugene Stewart caught up with a few medal hopefuls just ahead of competition.
Well, with just a few hours to go ahead of competition, Team Bahamas hosting their official team practice yesterday at the Old Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. Members of the team speaking on their post-practice performance after day one.
I actually feeling good, to be honest. I came out here to sharpen up some of my faults, my weaknesses, so when I go there, I can be able to come back with a gold medal. Training gets intense when it comes down to Carifta, because BAISS isn't as intense because now you're on a world stage with different countries, the best of the best, so you have to come with your A game.
Members also reflecting on what it means to wear the nation's flag with pride.
I just want to thank God that He brought me this far,
Today showed me that I could come out to Crifton and do good. I just have to execute and trust myself and my coach. Having your country and community come to support you is always a blessing, you know. Everyone coming out to watch everyone execute, run the races. And whether you don't make the final, you come third, fourth, first, it's always a celebration. So just knowing that positive energy is behind me, it feels good coming to Crifton.
Team Bahamas is set to jet on Thursday, April 17th, with competition set to begin on Saturday. Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Eugene Stewart.
On track, Bateman Collegiate javelin thrower Keyshawn Strong continuing a stellar season for the Nebraska Cornhuskers at the 44 Farms Invitational in College Station, Texas over the weekend. Strong etched his name in school history, winning the javelin title with a toss of 262 feet 5 inches or 80 meters, the second furthest mark ever by a Husker. He was shy of his national record of 84.27 meters that he set in March of 2023 as a member of the Auburn Tigers. The throw, however, turned out to be both a meet and faculty record for the 21-year-old Strawn, who is coming back from a UCI injury that prevented him from competing last year. In baseball news, after finally ending a record-breaking slump on Sunday, Bayman baseball superstar Jazz Chisholm Jr. seems to be turning the corner at the right time, homering in now his second straight game. Jazz going 1 for 4 last night and leading the Yankees home run barrage that saw the Bronx Bombers go yard 4 times, all left-handed hitters, by the way, picking up the 4-1 win over the Kansas City Royals and their all-star pitcher, Seth Lugo. The Yankees improving to 9-7 on the year.
I mean, the biggest challenge for me, I feel like, is just knowing your angles, knowing how hard the ball is hit, seeing how hard the ball is hit. It's hard to see how hard the ball is hit. You hear a crack of the bat and you might think it's hit 110 miles per hour and it's hit 86 miles per hour, you know. Just making that adjustment with your eyes and always being ready out there. So I would say that and first step. I've been feeling good at the plate this whole time, and like I said, it's just been kind of cold. Ain't nothing about it. It's getting warm now, so we're just going to warm up.
Let's look at your sports on this Tuesday. A check on weather when we return.
You've got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Here at Immigration Care Service, you can trust us, especially if you have experienced issues or problems with the U.S. immigration at the borders. We'll do our best to provide options and solutions to immigration roadblocks, so travelers can continue visiting the U.S. and residents can continue living their lives in the U.S. without worries. The best part? Our services are affordable and accessible. Take the mystery, confusion, and fear out of your immigration concerns. Contact Immigration Care Service today.
It's now time for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royston. We have a trophy down there, the extreme southeast Bahamas, particularly around Inagua and the Turks and Caicos Islands, and that's firing up some showers in that part of the forecast area. Elsewhere, high pressure remain in control of our weather, but that will be short-lived as we anticipate the arrival of a dry frontal system into the northwest Bahamas tomorrow morning. It will push through practically unnoticed. Now, your temperatures around the islands this evening, Marshall Babico at 72, Greentoe Key 74 degrees. In Freeport, Grand Bahama, they have a temperature of 74 degrees as well. The Berry Islands a little warmer at 78. Alistown, Bimini 77 degrees, 75 in Harbor Island. Roxanne, Eleuthera 75 degrees, 73, 76 in Alistown, Cat Island. Also Black Point, Exuma, Camp Space, or Andros, all at 76 degrees, and that extends right into Fresh Creek, Central Andros as well. More 76 in Georgetown, Exuma, Rumkey, and San Salvador. And as we take you further south, Betsy Bay may go on to 75 degrees, Ackland 75, Ragged Island 76 degrees. The warm spot tonight is Matchitown, Inagua at 80 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 77 degrees. And your forecast tonight, we're looking at clear to partly cloudy skies, the low temperature getting down to a comfortable 72 degrees. And tomorrow, we're looking at mostly sunny, quite pleasant, the high temperature getting up to 81 degrees. And your extended weather forecast for the next several days, starting off on Wednesday, we're going to have those daytime temperatures in the low 80s, those nighttime temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s. But as we head through the weekend, we have those sunny days will continue, but temperatures will start to spike as we get into early next week. Tuesday, we will see temperatures near 90 degrees, 86 degrees as a matter of fact, and that will continue that warming trend into the later part of next week. So Royston, with a beautiful week shaping up weather-wise, the weekend looks great for outdoor activity, so just go out there and enjoy yourselves. Royston.
That sounds great. We could not ask for better weather. Before we close out, I want to say a very special thank you to the lovely ladies at Bonneville Bones for tuning in tonight. Well, that's going to do it for the Bahamas tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and good night.
At Centerville, I'm LaDawn Davis. This is ZNS.
There's pressure not to put him first. So you got to overcome that pressure. And yes, Lord, even if I start out with 5 minutes, I'm going to give you the first 5 minutes, the first day of the week. I'm going to begin to shift things so that you know, I know, you're first. Then I'm going to listen because you say you're going to disclose yourself to me. You're going to reveal yourself to me when I put you first. Seven principles of being an overcomer, because he writes to 7 churches. The number 7 in the scripture means to come to completion. And so when we unpack each one of these 7 messages to the 7 churches,